some oversight on that. Something that was concerning to me was, again, that Mr. King brought up earlier today, was that he was denied. I remember he was denied some stuff of lease with the CRA, and it was cited that his evictions or other personal issues, lawsuits, etc., were the basis for him being denied. That was the CRA, and maybe they operate differently. I'm not sure, but a quick search through Broward County will also let you know that the same person, the same company, or the person who represents the same company, related to the holding these financial literacy classes, has a history of evictions, quite a colorful one, and another lawsuit based on another company that she's doing business with the city that was related to not paying people. So that's concerning to me, that we did it due diligence on one side, so rules for thee, not for me kind of situation. So it's off kilter. Finally, since it is late, and I obviously know that Commissioner Sigerson would like to go home, I can save the rest for later, but I will say that I have further conversations, and I have further concerns related to, of course I did a public records request. And so I have further concerns related to this same person, this same contract, and the OHUI process of how I've been learning about the process. So I specifically looked at this particular case, and I asked for the process of how the Office of Housing and Urban Improvement moves things forward in their process, what those things are. So I would like to make sure these are also part of this same conversation. So as per the agenda, a cover item page from back in 2022, it has this really great memorandum that tells you a step-by-step. It's the memorandum 22-126, if anybody wants to look it up. And it has a whole like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a whole number of things. Intake information. Applications will be processed on a first-come, first-served basis. First ready from all applicants meeting program eligibility criteria, subject to funding availability, with priority given to the elderly and disabled homeowners. Applicants not funded will remain on a waiting list and will receive priority in the next funding cycle. So my question is, when was Ms. Peterson's name added to this list, wait list? What date was her application, initial application? And then her house. And what date was she notified in writing by a department director, which is part of number 9. It says applicant is notified in writing by a department director as to the results of eligibility determination. Moving beyond all that, and listen, I'm all for people getting affordable housing. Let me just make sure that's very clear. Very deserving people should be definitely getting housing. I would also like to point out that this particular house closing, and I think I've brought it up before, but this particular house closing, we purchased as a city the land for $100,000. We had a bid out for $327,234 as a cost to build. And so the sale range, you know, using all those things, but the property was sold on July 31st of 2025 for $372,000 as part of this program. So even though I asked for a bunch of information, and I did get some of it, I did get a lot of redacted information, which is totally fine. I think personally identifying information should be redacted from obviously public records. My question to Mr. Berman is, what is generally traditionally redacted? Because it felt like there were a lot of black marks on what I received, and I just want to find out what is the traditional method for what is redacted versus what is public.
There are tons of exemptions under the law, but the main are social security numbers, sensitive information, dates of birth, information about family members, etc. So I don't know what was redacted. I didn't review it, but whatever, the clerk's very aware of what needs to be redacted, and that includes all sensitive information or information that can be used to commit financial crimes against somebody and things of that nature.
Of course, like
Count
potentially
numbers, whatever.
potentially somebody who is an applicant not living in the state of Florida, Secondly, the last part, and here we go, this is nice little bow here, is that in the same contract in 2025, one of the witnesses was none other than Peterson's brother, who has been, is a known, has some issues, I guess, let's just say in the community, right? And had some newer issues. Apparently also picked up at that same house. My mind is blown by this sort of like, just mishmash of what we have going on here, and that's the reason why I'm asking for clarity. It is not because it's a personal thing, it's because we have a contract for $85,000, then we renew the contract, pretty much the same, for $150,000 the next year. There seems to be no sort of oversight by what's actually being put out there. There's personal attacks, which is, again, I've thought tough skin. You want to come up here and yell at me? Go on, come on, let's go, let's have it. You know, you want to say some stuff, fine. But when you have a contract and you're being paid by the city to promote a project, promote stuff in the city, and in your contract, it has specifications of what you can and cannot do, I have a problem with a lot of this. And I would like clarification, and I'm happy to sit down with anybody for as long as it takes to get some real answers. Following that, last thing, thank you, Mr. Berman, for telling me that the contract authority of the city manager is 1 year. Are we sure about that?
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. The contract, so the length of the contract for the city man, under the city manager's authority is a 1 year term, otherwise it has to come back to the city commission.
What I said was, per the charter, contracts greater than 1 year should go before the commission for approval.
Correct. Well, I brought up at a CRA meeting, and I've asked for clarification, that in April of last year, despite that our CRA attorney's contract was signed for a 3-year term, and it did not come to City Commission, it did not come to the CRA board, at least in 2025, but it did in 2022, 2019, and 2016, all for, and I'm not asking for, we're not doing this today. So I would like a legal determination on that, because it can't be null and void, but obviously I have concerns with how the city manager is running things if basic contracts can't be followed, basic follow-up can't be done, and we can't protect how we are positioning things within the city. Our output, I think it's been said 1,000 times, we have an optics problem. We have an optics problem, and it's not just this vote, it's a lot of things. And I got some big problems, and everybody's been asking me, oh, you've done all this research, what now? I have been asking for legal opinions, left, right, and sideways, here, everywhere. I've asked the city manager for clarification. I've done my own requests, because I'm not trying to do anything, but this stuff, it just looks like a big heap of something, and I'm not sure. This is one example. If this is one example of things we're messing up, as you said, there's thousands of things going on that you can't have oversight on everything, but I question if we are so glaringly looking at least something in here, question how you are managing bigger things. Because a $150,000 contract, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, is nothing. And I don't even fault the girl for trying to make her money. Go get your money, girl. They're going to sign the contract, take it. Take it. Do the work. My problem isn't with her. My problem is with management. I am going to be a grandma probably by the next time I see you guys, so I figured I might as well get that out of the way so I didn't have to think about it when I go hug my grandbaby. And I am going to leave you with one quote. So I am happy, and I want to thank you for listening to my diatribe for a very long time. I'm sorry for the length, but it is important to make sure that that information is conveyed. My quote is from Thomas Paine, and it applies to a lot of things here. A long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives it the superficial appearance of being right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Very good. That takes us to 11 o'clock. At this point in time, we're going to have to adjourn unless somebody wants to make a motion that we extend the meeting to 1 more hour if need be. And it needs to be a supermajority. Is that correct, Mr. Berman? Yes. So does anyone wish to make a motion that we extend the meeting?
I will. I'll make a motion if you guys have something to say. I took up a lot of time, and I want to make sure you have the opportunity to speak.
Commissioner Fesik made a motion to extend the meeting until 12 o'clock, and it was
We
seconded.
extended a half an hour instead.
As much
Seconded.
up to an hour. Is it seconded by Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Yes, seconded by Vice Mayor to extend it up to an extra hour. All right. Any questions on the part of the commission? Seeing none, let's go ahead and call the roll.
Commissioner Fesik,
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Sigerson Eaton,
No.